Dear Lazy Dreads, how long does it take for dreadlocks to mature? It depends? Ah, the great race towards maturity. You know you've reached it when you don't find putting dreadlocks in little pigtails funny anymore. Obviously, I'm yet to reach that point. No. We're talking about maturity in dreadlocks, not maturity in me personally, which I'm a long way off. So maturity in dreadlocks is that theoretical line which once you pass it, all your problems are over and your dreadlocks are locked and done and you can relax and everything's fine and good, right? Not so quick. I know that generally the answer to all dreadlock problems seems to be wait until they mature, but it's not quite that simple. You know, how long that will actually take and how you'll know when you actually get there. I mean, even the definition as to what constitutes mature dreads is kind of vague at best. I think something that you always have to bear in mind is the fact that every set of dreadlocks can be wildly different. There can be crazy variation in what one person experiences at a certain period of time versus someone else. And this makes it really difficult to lay out any sort of strict or universally accepted timescale for what constitutes mature dreadlocks, air quotes. For example, someone with really long, dry, coarse, frizzy, curly hair, they're gonna have a much different time versus someone who has really short, super straight, fine, soft hair. So if you go with the generally accepted ballpark time scale that is 12 months. 12 months it takes your dreadlocks to mature. Those two different people with the wildly different hair types, they're going to have way different times at that 12-month time point, and yet 12 months is still like considered the benchmark for how long it takes for dreadlocks to mature. It's the rule of thumb, kind of. So if you were to push me in a pinch, I would say it takes 12 months for dreadlocks to reach maturity, but in reality, that's just a really vague average, and so what one person has at 12 months is not necessarily going to be as good or bad or acceptable as someone else. So the simple answer is, I guess, no, I can't say how long it's going to take for dreadlocks to mature, and I don't believe that anyone can with any sort of really precise degree of accuracy. The rough guide of 12 months is not terrible. By 12 months, a lot of people are going to have reached a point in their dreadlock journey where they start to feel comfortable and happy with their dreadlock progress. They're going to be seeing their dreadlocks developing faster, getting tighter faster than they get looser, and so if you kind of graft dreadlock progress, they'd start off tighter, get looser and messier, and then by 12 months they're going to be on the up and up again. Hopefully. Optimistic view. But, you know, this 12 months time scale is far from guaranteed. It's a ballpark idea. It's hand wavy. Something you have to always bear in mind is that dreadlocks are never finished. It's not like you reach that 12-month period of time, even in like the ideal situation, best case scenario, even if you reach that 12-month period of time, your dreadlocks aren't done. They're always going to be growing further, they're going to be changing, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. They're going to tighten, they're going to loosen, loose hair is going to pop up, it's going to get locked away. And so while it can be nice to reach that sort of magical finishing line of maturity, it's not really a finishing line. I will accept that maturity is a great point to get to because once your dreadlocks are mature, a lot of these sort of teething problems that you experience with young dreads start to go away. It's generally the point in time when you can feel like your roots have started to lock up faster than the hair is growing, which is always like a huge deal because it doesn't feel like the dreads are growing out. The tips will start to have sorted themselves out and your loose hair will be on the way down. But if anything, I think that maturity is more of a mindset than anything else. I feel that maturity in dreadlocks is a point where you personally start to feel more comfortable with your dreads. It's when you can look at them and you're like, yeah, they're locking faster than they're loosening. That's good. I'm feeling good about it, and that's great. And some people, they're going to reach that point by 12 months. Some people are going to reach it even earlier. For some people, it's going to take 12, 18, 24 months, even more. It's a personal thing that you have to go through, and it's kind of when you start to feel most comfortable with them. But like I said, they're still not done, and they never will be done. I'm over 9 months in. I'm over 9 years in. God, 9 months, 9 years. And they're not done. They're still doing weird stuff, and it's kind of what you have to go through. So even once you've reached that sort of idealistic maturity, you can't just throw away your patience and just be like, okay, they're done now, everything's good, I'm fine, because, you know, you've kind of left behind some negatives and you've taken on a whole different group. I mean, I would say that they're not as bad downsides once they're mature, but you still have to deal with stuff. So in short, I guess, is maturity like some definite defined concept? No, not really, if you're to ask me. Is it guaranteed by 12 months? Definitely not, but is it a reasonable estimation? I think so. I think 12 months is a good average to aim for. Some people will have reached it by that point. Some people will be happy with that point. Some people will be happy earlier. Some people a lot later. I don't think you should freak out or get upset if you're not totally happy with them at 12 months, but you know, 12 months is a reasonable period of time to aim for. It's an average. 50% of people are going to be happy by them, 50% of people aren't. Kind of average. Does it really matter whether you consider your dreadlocks mature or whether someone else considers them mature or whether they reach some sort of preconceived definition of what mature is? No, it doesn't. I mean, for some people, I guess it could, but in my opinion, it doesn't really make any difference. Does it really matter? Is sort of 11 months and 29 days or whatever, where they're below a year, is that different to how they're going to be the next day? No, they're not going to be radically different. If you feel happier with them the next day, then that's good and great, but it's just sort of a milestone that you can tick off on your calendar, and if they're not how you want them by that point, or they are, it's not a big deal. I know it's nice to be able to define dreadlocks in sort of a binary way as to whether they're young or new or mature, but sort of in real life, in the grand scheme of things, it's not like a huge deal. It's not like a big difference to anyone's life, really. I think you just have to be as patient as you can, be as happy as you can, and just you do your thing and let your hair do its thing and hope for the best. No, they get there, just don't directly compare your experience to someone else's and expect the exact same thing. That was my video for today. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful. I know there was no definite answer in there, but it's kind of difficult when there really isn't a definite answer. Maybe it's sort of calmed some of your fears if you're reaching that 12-month point and they're not how you want, or maybe they're not at the 12-month point and you're happy already and like, are they mature yet? It's a concept that is in your mind. Yeah. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Farewell! Do you think I can just get away with wearing them like this? I think this could catch on. It's like the Pippi Longstocking dreads. And dye them ginger. Or not. I have nothing wrong against dyeing them ginger. I just don't think that I should make a permanent thing out of being Pippi Longstocking. Maybe I'm thinking way too much into it.